Hi, this is Jerome Alexandre, Black Bordello, Sex Gang Children, Tug of War, and Triggers. You're watching The Roosta Show.
Children of the killing war, their toys lying on the floor. The families waiting for their fathers, knock on the door. Campfire in the morning haze, in the valley of the quiet days, and the family shivering because it's war.
My friends, and welcome to the special Father's Day edition of the Roosta Show. And this is going to be awesome. I have lead singer of Nosferatu. I know it's kind of hard to even say it. It's unbelievable. Here on this show. Yay. Talking about also his new project called The Last Decade. Hello and welcome. How you doing?
I'm
Now,
here,
Tim
thank
Vic.
you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Tim Vic of Nosferatu and his new project, The Last Decade. So, Tim, I mean, so you're in Germany, is that right?
I am, yeah.
Okay, I know that
Uh,
Nosferatu's the band itself is from UK. Are you originally from Germany or are you from
yeah,
UK? Where are you from?
I'm original from Germany,
Oh,
but
originally from Germany.
but I've been to UK a couple of times, so especially when we met, rehearsed, did music, and in the past. So it's a familiar place for me.
Okay, great, great. Wonderful. So, now what got you into wanting to be a goth rock singer?
Whew. Um, yeah, that's a question, isn't it?
I mean, you're a part
Well,
of a band. I mean, because you're still doing shows, right? Nosferatu is.
yeah,
You
yeah.
guys still
I
do
mean,
shows?
we're doing a bit of a break at the moment because like 2 years ago, our drummer passed away, and we
That's
also
right.
had
Yeah.
like, yeah, we had difficulties also like with the bass players. And yeah, there was a lot, like there was the pandemic and all the market and the scene, and it became
Yeah.
really difficult to do concerts and travel. So yeah, we decided like to leave it a bit. We made some really, I think, fantastic recordings. One song we played live called "For Weddings and a Vampire."
Oh,
Um, that was really fun. It was quite melodic. I really, really enjoyed doing that. And there was another one, "Now the Silence," Now the Silence, which is a really, I mean, for Nosferatu, a really heavy song, really powerful.
and these are
Com-
new songs that you've been working on?
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Okay, so you guys are doing stuff in studio.
yeah. And because
Okay.
of the distances, we like, send tracks backwards and forwards. And
Yes.
of course, we rehearsed and played also as a unit. But that made the whole thing a bit more complicated. And we
Yeah.
decided also to take it easy, and and get back when everything is like we want to have it.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah, why do it half-assed? You know what I mean?
yeah,
You know,
exactly. And that gave me the opportunity to,
I don't need my
do
glasses.
more or less my own thing. Not
Yeah,
my own because we are a band, but I had those songs in the pocket, and I did not know what to do with them. Actually, before I joined Nosferatu, I was working on those songs, and I never, moved along with it.
no,
And
wow,
and then last year we got asked to play this festival with Nosferatu actually, and we said, hey, no, we can't make it. And the
yeah,
question was, the organizer asked me, is there another band? And I don't know. I did not ask back yet if he just was thinking about a artist,
yeah,
And
exactly.
for me, it was like, yeah, I have a band. And the fun part was I had no band because I had songs. So I think it was about maybe 2 months or so, or three the most, where we had to get
Wow.
people together, for a band. And back to your question, I mean, if we have time, because you asked me about like how did I become a vocalist? There were a lot of
Yeah,
circumstances, and it started a long, long time ago. I think most of the things in your life start, I think, when you are a child, and
yes,
they somehow they stuck with you. They still are somewhere in your back, and yeah, I mean, I love music since my ears are working. I guess
yes,
since I can listen,
exactly. I remember
and
buying vinyls with my own money when
oh
I was
yes,
little, young age, like 10 years old, maybe, going buying Kiss
well,
and stuff like that,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. I mean,
AC/DC and those
that's
good
in
days.
that's interesting that you're mentioning this because for you and me it was a different world. I can hear because there was no Spotify or YouTube, so we could not listen to anything we liked to or people told us
No,
to.
we just
Um,
listened to what was on the radio, man.
exactly.
On
It was the radio.
radio.
And on the other side, I will show you later on. I've got a jukebox with 7-inch singles. So I think I must have been 6 or 7 or something like that when I stood in front of those machines and I got money from people, and I was just like, as a kid, hopping along
Yeah.
those tracks, and we had to listen to what was given to us. I mean, there was ABBA, AC/DC, Led
Yeah.
Zeppelin. I mean, all the 70s stuff. There was
You're
like,
grateful for whatever you get. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. There was disco,
Grateful.
and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And so that was actually something. Of course, it somehow became a dream to do the same, to be on the other side of that jukebox. And last year, with the last decade, first thing we did, I can tell you more about this later, but one of the first things we did before we actually did our first concert, and I mean, when I remember like bands in the 70s, 80s saying all they wanted to do was to get played on the radio.
Yeah.
And to get there, you needed a physical thing, like physical media.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people, I think it must have been like a 7-inch single, which then maybe got people like, John Peel, that DJ in the UK.
Yes.
He picked that music up and played it, or even for those people who've seen the Queen movie, when they put on Bohemian Rhapsody on seven
Yeah.
inch, going on about
Yes.
it's too long and stuff like that. So last year, before we played our first concert with the last decade, we actually released already a 7-inch. Actually, the organizer helped us because there was no music around when we played. Um, so that 7-inch, it was like for me, it was like for other people becoming like number one in the charts overnight. I
Yes.
all of a sudden had that what I always wanted for all those years. So that was like quite
That's good.
weird. And well, I don't know where to start, but if you like, I can
So
continue with the
yeah,
last
yeah,
decade
let's just go
thing.
ahead and yeah, that's what we're here about, I mean, we're not here about the Nosferatu. We're here about last decade. So go and
I
tell
will
me
go.
what sparked this creation.
I'll go backwards and forwards.
Yeah, that's good.
um,
It's all right. We're
yeah.
gonna do that.
So we got this slot at this festival in Poland, and the songs I had, it was actually the last decade was actually my first band I started when I was young. And it went on for a couple of weeks or months, and then it was silent again. And I went to this band, to that band, was a vocalist here, a bass player there, programming drums and stuff. And I think I was already vocalist in Nosferatu, or maybe a year or two before. A very old friend of mine, Michelle Darkness, who's also a vocalist from German band End of Green.
End of group. Yep.
Yeah, I met him somewhere on the streets. I can't remember. And he said, like, so how are you and what are you doing? And I think that's it. I was not in the band in that moment. And then he said, hey, what's happening with those songs you had like when, years ago? And he remembered one of those last decade songs. And he wanted me to send this song, which back then was recorded on a 4-track, and I only had it on tape. So I had to transfer it into an MP3 and emailed it to him. And a couple of days later, he said, hey, you've got to visit me. I've got something for you. So he recorded almost the whole one of those tracks again. And I did the vocals for that.
Wow.
So that was
Very
it.
cool.
And then I was in Nosferatu, and there was not much time, and I was like, yeah, more focused on that. And when for me it's like you do one thing but not the other. I'm not so multitasking.
Yeah.
and
But
and
since you don't have to focus on Nosferatu, now you can focus on your project. So
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
good.
I was always like looking at, where can we play, where can we do this and that. So this last decade thing was actually aside and left aside. And but we recorded a couple of more songs in those Nosferatu years. And last year when we got asked to play, and I said, well, yeah, I do have another band. There was no other band. It was just like two of us, Michelle Darkness and myself.
Yeah.
And so within a couple of weeks, we had to find musicians. So it got all very fast. So the guys who are in the band now are friends, people we know. We will get on together, and they would be into this.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And so we
That's nice of
rehearsed.
them.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
rehearsed.
Very good.
To,
Good of them to do that. To be a part
yeah,
of it.
so we rehearsed 2 or 3 times before, like the last week before the festival. We planned to rehearse all together, and it never happened. A flight got delayed. One of our guitars flat was underwater because we had the floods. One guy was sick and stuff like that. So it happened that we drove to the festival. We picked up a guy, one of our guitarists, and our bass player met him for the first time in the band bus.
Oh
and
wow.
and the other guitarist, he flew and he missed his flight got delayed. So yeah, long story short, it went all very chaotic, but everybody like knew the songs, played them at home, stuff like that. And so yeah, we played our debut show as a unit for the very first time. And that made it really, yeah, we were super nervous.
Yeah, and it
um,
sounded. I mean, that's the ones you sent me.
yeah, exactly. And
Wow,
but
it
it was great.
sounded so brilliant. I mean, like
Thank you so much. I
amazing,
think
amazing, amazing musicians
I,
to
I
pick it up
think
that quick. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. I think everybody is really professional, but also everybody was really into it. And we became, in those couple of, well, days or hours, like we became a really good gang, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and so, yeah, that was it. And from there, we did not even know, well, we didn't know what will happen. You know, it was like a more of a heavy metal festival. Like it
Yes.
was not really made for dark wave goth electronic bands. So that was like even harder, you know, to think like, okay, what will happen? And the place we played, I mean, they announced us like it's musicians from here and there, and we released this one track, which is called War,
Yep.
and it also became something special because you know those festivals sometimes, you know, on social media you get to see those clips with hi, we're this band, and hello, we're so excited to play your festival and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, we are not here. I mean, it's just me. I mean, I could get two or three guys in front of the camera maybe. So why can't you just play a song and say, hey, this is the last decade, you know, go and see them. And so I sent them this. I would say when you listen to the recordings, like more, this is more of the harder ones, heavier ones, War. And also because when we played Poland, Ukraine is right next door, you know,
Yes.
with all this going on, you know what I mean? And so we made the 7-inch single to support children who are suffering the war,
Yes.
and as a benefit single, and so that was really good, and it got picked up by the radio, and so we sort of overnight, you know, we moved things forward a bit, and like we had like this venue was packed with people, and everybody, you know, I stood there and I was, of course, from the music world we come from, you're always happy if you see those Sisters of Mercy, New Model Army, The
Of
Cure, The
course.
Mission, Suze and the Banshees, all those people.
Love them all. Yep.
But most of them were like Iron Maiden, AC/DC, Moonspell, Tab Negative, or whatever, those kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
ghost, you
Yeah.
know, people. And also like some, you know, a couple of like people from the darker scene, like goths, so to say. And so it was very exciting. Yeah, and so we kept recording and we kept thinking about where to go. And soon we will be on tour with a American band, The Awakening. Um,
Yes. Yes.
they
You will.
started their career actually from South Africa, uh, and yeah, so we will play a couple of shows with them, and then we will play the Castle Party Festival in Poland, which is like a festival. It's on a castle. You have to check it out, and
Will do.
we'll
I've
do
been
more
trying to get
touring.
them on the. I've been trying to get them on the show.
Ah,
I sent them
okay.
an offer like on Instagram or something, but maybe
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
Facebook.
yeah, yeah.
They haven't seen it yet.
So that was like a rough story of where we are at the
Yeah.
moment. And yeah, and going back to your
So
question with the vocalist, um, I I don't know. I think sometimes you've got that DNA when you're born that already has all those parts there
yes.
where
Yeah.
you're going. You know, I don't know.
Exactly.
Perhaps I mean, in my first, when I started a band, I got myself a bass guitar because I thought that's the easiest to play. and and listening to Rich, our bass player, I'm actually wrong because what he does,
Complex.
it's phenomenal. It's like an orchestra. What he
Oh,
does on
that's
bass
awesome.
guitar.
Good for him. Good for him.
And
That's
yeah,
awesome.
so is the whole band. You know, like Patty and Vince, our guitarists. They could easily play on their own. I mean, it's fantastic what they do. Our drummer, I think Alex, he's a drum teacher. he's teaching drumming, and I think he plays in 6 or 7 bands. I don't know,
Ooh.
but he's like this machine, and I know him for many years, and Michel, he's just a brilliant guy. I mean, altogether I think we are this dark gang a little bit, and yeah, it's a very powerful thing, and it feels really good to be surrounded by people. We all like each other a lot,
Yes.
that
You enjoy
gives
each
you,
other's company.
yeah, especially in the world we're living in. It's good.
You guys share the same vision as
Yeah,
well.
that's it. Yeah.
Okay, for this project, what is your vision?
I think um the music that drives us, we would like to invite people to listen to us, to be with us, to spend time with us with our music. Therefore, we made a song called Big Black Car, which is, the chorus is like, join us for the big black car. It's
Yeah.
it's like the van we have is like a big black van, and I think at the moment, especially last couple of days, it feels a bit like it's the end of the world, isn't it? um,
It does at times. Yes,
yeah, it does.
it
So
makes you feel that sad at least.
it
That
is, yeah,
darkness that weighs you down like that. Yes, it does.
it is, and the music we do. I mean, it's probably some songs, they sound a bit like end times. We've got this song called Vigilands, where a few people actually wrote me saying about the lyrics. It really describes where we are at the moment, and I never thought about that, to be honest. I just wrote those lyrics. Um, and there is another song, a very emotional one called Candle. It's about when you're on fire like a candle, when you burn and when you have energy. On the other side, the candle gets smaller and smaller. The more energy um, you give, and so yeah, you can look at one day the candle will just fade away. And but the last line actually says, I'll never fade away because we will always be there. So I think the music is like dark, but some of it has also hope in it.
Yes, I think
Um,
that's important. I have to admit that is very important because music should be healing and should be helpful. It shouldn't be a selfish thing. You having a gift, you sharing it to the world, like it's been a blessing for me, and the band even the band before Nosferatu, all the other guys, honestly is, yeah, you are my favorite goth rock band,
oh, thank you so much.
hands down. It is. I mean, Nosferatu has definitely been number one in my list. So, so I appreciate the years of it. The years I know you've been around. What's 2015 with them or
Mhm.
something like that, right? So I understand you're part of it, but that's big shoes you have to fill to be a lead singer of Nosferatu. They're well respected within the metal scene, the goth scene, and all over the place. So I seen I think it was Slayer or something playing live, and he had a Nosferatu shirt on. It was pretty cool. I can't remember exactly the band, but he was like doing his head banging with his guitar. He had a Nosferatu shirt on, so
Well,
it's
did you know that a guy called Brian Warner, who is now more
Maryland.
familiar as Marilyn
Yeah,
Manson?
Maryland. Yeah,
Yeah, he did an interview before I was there, but he was like in the 90s. He did an interview with Nosferatu. So yeah, it's a small world, isn't it?
yeah, it is. I partied with him one night. Well, 2 nights. I saw Skinny Puppy with him one
Mm.
night, and I was on the dance floor the whole night. I didn't even talk to him, and I just kept waving at him. He kept waving at me. He was at his table. But the day before that, we had a conversation at the bar for like about an hour. And he had a Heineken. I had a Heineken. He had a Rolling Rock, and we just talked. And he was the nicest gentleman I've ever met,
And
hands
hey,
down.
by the way, talking
Yo,
about t-shirts, I put this shirt on
I
especially for
know.
you because I did some research and I saw that you like cats, so I thought,
Yes, I love it. It's just like one of my black cat. I got a black cat too. I haven't sent you a picture yet, but yeah, he's adorable, man. He was found in a car engine at Home Depot,
oh
and
wow,
and my son saved him and brought him home, and he had like burned on the side of the face, and his eye was closed because it had
um,
oil and burn like hot oil, type thing. And
mhm.
so my wife and his son cleaned it out and got him all beautiful. Now he's the most gorgeous black cat I've ever had in the world. He's so
You
beautiful.
s- you
His name
saved
is
him.
Jaguar. Jaguar.
Oh wow.
So
Say hi to him.
I will. He's right there. Hi, JJ.
Get him, get him on your show.
Get him on the show. Okay, I'll go get him right now. Second. Get him.
Yes. Oh my God, now I can see myself in the background. Hello. Oh,
Oh, the Jaguar. Say hi, JJ.
oh,
There you go, buddy.
my cat. My cat would just jump away if I would hold it in front of the camera.
Yeah, he's a good boy, man. He's very loving. In fact, he's we got him, and he was so small that we had to feed a baby bottle to him and all that.
Hmm.
Yeah, he was like in the palm of your hand, small. And
Oh
now he's like
wow.
huge, like big, huge cat. And he has UTIs, his problems with his stomach. So
Hmm.
we had to buy special food for him, and now he's getting fat and happy. So very
Yeah,
grateful for it. I heard you have a cat too.
yeah. She's super busy. She's always out checking the
Oh yeah,
area.
super busy.
It's
She's getting
it's
you a
it,
bird or a mouse.
yeah, it's a bit like it's like the cat police, you know. She's she's checking out the area if everything's right out
That's good
there.
stuff.
Yeah, she's funny and a bit weird, but I love her, of course.
What's her name?
um, it's funny. Yeah, she's bossy.
Posse?
Yeah, bossy because she's so
Yeah,
bossy.
Bossy. Oh, that's funny. Okay, Bossy. All right, good. Good. You said you had a special animal though.
Yeah.
Or do you want to
Um,
do that at the end?
let's do it at the end. Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and go back to so you do not have a full length album obviously yet for the last decade. When do you plan on trying to have one
Well,
available?
we've got 8 tracks final for an album. We could like use them right away. But all the recordings that we put out on YouTube and Bandcamp are just the two of us, you know.
Yes.
So we want to do that like with all the other band members. And we spoke to a couple of labels. And there's no rush, but as we're getting older every day, we would like to, you know, finalize this year. We want to do like this live.
Vampires don't die though.
Let's see. Let's see what
Want
happens.
to put a bet on it?
My problem is, you know, my problem is like I don't like blood. You know, I that's why I drink red wine, or I
Salute.
prefer I prefer other liquids. I'm not that much into blood. You know, I do
That's
live
true.
close to a ruin, and I do live close to a cemetery. but I don't drink blood. It's not my thing.
Not your cup of tea, so to say.
Yeah. A good
That's
couple, yeah,
good.
right. And
That's good.
yeah, so you'd mentioned earlier AC/DC, Slayer, and stuff. So I would like to know what brought you into the goth world, into the
Oh,
music of.
oh, it started way back in 1980. I fell in love with The
Wow.
Cure, Boys Don't Cry, and then just was a beach boy. Yeah, I kind of went down to the beach a lot, Sacramento and stuff like that in California. But then I ended up going clubbing at one of the biggest goth rock clubs. It is still going. It's been going for 40 years in San Diego, called Club Therapy.
Oh
So
wow.
that,
Okay.
yeah, I know the owner still. His name is Brian Pollard, and so should check him out if you're gonna ever make your way down towards San Diego. He'll get you booked out at his place. So easily,
Hmm.
I can
That
introduce you
sounds
to him
interesting.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been going on for over 40 years, and so but then
Wow. No.
I
No.
just started going clubbing there and going clubbing in California, LA, I mean Hollywood, and I fell in love with the industrial and goth rock music and just continued with it. I just felt my place. And honestly, there's certain parts of me that are like I love old punk rock as well. Black Flag, Seven
Hmm.
Seconds, and all that Misfits and then I just felt like a lot of things branched off from punk rock, such
Hmm.
as goth rock, such as death rock, such as hardcore, such as, even industrial has that edgy, freaking punky kind of
Absolutely.
attitude,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and so I just fell in love with underground music, true music from the heart, type of stuff. And I felt that's where I found my place and my soul was in goth rock. My energy and strength come from punk rock, and street punk and stuff like that too. So, anyways, there you go, buddy.
No. No. That's interesting. I mean, like yeah, like Misfits and Black Flag and um, like looking at 70s punk rock. I mean, it's of course it's the Ramones, Sex Pistols, but for me, it was always the Damned. Was always like
Yeah.
the big thing for me, and I also think that Dave Vanian he did a lot for the goth scene, and he is a bit of the link, between punk rock and goth in a way.
Yeah, the missing link.
Yeah, 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 and yeah, so it's interesting. I mean, for me, I'm from the countryside, and I can't remember which concert it was. I think I can't remember, but I know that I met, like, let me think. Yeah, I remember now. I went to this 80s band concert in in 84. And yeah, and I met those two girls, and the one I'm still friend with today. Um,
Oh,
I think it was her. No, it was her boyfriend who was like this goth guy,
okay.
And I visited her or both of them, and believe it or not, they wanted to see this band in the evening, and I was not sure if I'm allowed to stay because I was too young. I had to go back by train, or did I? I can't remember. I think I stayed there. And well, what happened was we went to this gig, and we were too late. And for me, like money back then, like I was like a paper boy, and I I
Yeah.
I did all this to get money for music. And there was this band, and they already started, and for me it was like, I'm not spending my money on something that already started. What a waste of money, to go in now
Yeah.
and probably see only half of the show. And so we went back. So we said, okay, let's go for a drink. let's go back to the place, you know. Yeah, that's how it was. And the other morning, now I remember, I stayed there, and so I got this tape. I got this cassette with Joy Division, Unknown Pleasures on the A side, and I think a Bauhaus album on the B side or something. And on the remaining, I think at the very end of both sides, yeah, I got Floor Show, Alice, and something else by Sisters of Mercy. And it was then she said to me, "Oh yeah, and this is I've got to put some of the some songs of the band on the tape of the band we missed last night." And
Yeah.
so yeah, so we stood in front of the Sisters of Mercy gig in 1984 with the lineup before they released First, Last, and Always, you know.
Wow.
And I was like a young boy, you know, I had no idea, but I listened to those songs, and to begin with, I thought like, "Whew, this is like really dark." And then
Yeah.
I became more of a fan of that music because I was a bit unlucky at school, and I had a dog back then. Oh wow, great one! I can
Sister,
see it, yeah.
yes. Yeah, you can see it.
And yeah, and then I had a dog, and he died, and I had like quite a hard time, and it happened that this music, you know, and the way I felt became just like
One.
went on so well
It
together, like
bonded.
it bonded, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and that's how I got into this, like, yeah, I mean, it's like it's like when you're hungry or thirsty. I mean, like sometimes you're up for something totally different. So you either listen to punk rock or you listen to something which is more like something of the darker kind, or more like a soundtrack or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this is how I got into this world.
That's what.
Are you here?
Oh yeah.
Ah, finally. I'm sorry.
Yeah, definitely. No, no, it's no big deal. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Hey,
Technical,
look,
that's why they call it technical difficulties.
exactly. Bleeding technology also. Hey, I've got to show you the jukebox.
You were not joking. It's
Look like,
glorious.
wait a second, I need to take this off here.
It's freaking awesome.
When you open it, this is like how an iPod looked like 40 years ago or 50 years ago.
Yeah, that's nice. That's you got it out, huh?
And
Jeez.
you know, no joke, we are playing with the last decade. We will play on a ship in November in
A
Germany, in
ship?
Stuttgart. Yeah, we'll play on a ship.
Wow.
And for some reason, like we did that with Nosferatu before in Cologne at the Amphi Festival. And we had Das Boot as an intro, you know, the main
Yeah,
theme of the German submarine war,
yeah,
submarine, like, and so I was thinking probably we should do that again, you know, like, and then I
yeah.
thought, no, 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 I can't use the same intro. Like, you know, it makes no sense. It has to be something different, of course, different
Of
band,
course
different
it
intro.
does.
And on the same day, I went to a flea market and I found this. Wait a second. A 7-inch single
Oh,
of the
Josh.
Jaws theme.
Wow. Oh, wow.
So I can tell you now, we will use Jaws as an intro when we'll play on the ship.
Good.
Scare the people a bit.
Okay, I will. I
Wait
will.
a second.
That's
Does this
awesome.
work? Like, do we need light?
Oh,
Uh,
look at that. Remember, I mean, that's a nice light. Definitely. Kind of looks like what's behind me.
yeah, exactly. It does match. It does match your colors, right?
Yeah, it's looking good. So,
All
okay.
right. Where did we stop?
Okay, so you say that you have 8 tracks that you're ready to put out at any given time. You just need the other guys to do their parts because you and oh gosh,
Michelle.
Michelle did everything on
Yeah.
other stuff. So,
I mean, if you
um,
listen
do you
to
have
this,
anything planned coming up for more shows, some touring and all that with this lineup?
yeah, yeah. We'll play this year 10 shows in Germany. Um, there was one planned in Paris. Perhaps I don't know if I don't think it will still happen. We're looking, of course, also that we can play maybe like in Prague, like so Czech Republic and Austria, Poland again, and we'll see like Belgium, France, UK.
Okay.
So we'll see what we can get and where people would like to hear us. And of course, next year, hopefully, we can do some festivals and then release an album. We've got 8 tracks finished, but we've got like 12 to 15 tracks. We've got like some very good live recording, which we made in January, um, where that was another thing. Like, I mean, this band is like really spontaneous in some cases, like we 2 3 days when we rehearsed, we were like, when you rehearse, you actually pretend the concert's on,
Oh, of
and you're
course,
like,
yes.
hello, and okay, get everything started. And with this hello and hello, the guys were not ready, and I'm like, hello,
No, no.
and that went into hello. Is there anybody in there? And
Oh.
so it happened that we started with Pink Floyd, Comfortably Numb for a couple of seconds, which no one wanted to do. Everybody said, I don't like Pink Floyd. I don't like this song. And
That's
we're
funny.
not a cover band. And when we played it, everybody after said, wow, what a version. It was really slow and heavy and dark. So that was fun. So yeah, I'm really looking
Hey,
forward
good
to
for
the
you.
shows. I started. Yeah, it will be fun because I started to contact people like other bands from the scene, like other goth bands, to turn up at our concerts, and we probably, if everything will work out, we might have a guest every night, from a different band, make it a little bit more interesting for the people, but also interesting for ourselves.
Yeah. Okay. Now I got another question. Do you
Hmm.
feel that Nosferatu working with them has prepared you for the last decade to prepare your vocals, prepare
Well, this
your
is
stage
this is
presentation?
so interesting. Yeah, it's so interesting that you say that because you're absolutely right. This is what I was seriously thinking the other day. What I meant to begin with is, or earlier when I said sometimes like things they all have a meaning. Like
Yes.
what's happening sometimes is kind of it seems to be already programmed in a way, and it seems like that when I started those songs, it was like, yeah, okay, that's okay, but no, wait, you've got to do something else before. And of course, everything is like your life, your music, what you do, everything is always in progress. And of course, I mean, if imagine, I don't know, do you think it would have
What-
made a change if the Beatles or the Stones, would have been on YouTube when they released the first
yeah.
tracks? I don't know.
Okay. One
But
thing I
of
was
course,
gonna
like,
say. Go ahead.
I mean, now you can reach way more people with music. I mean, that's
Yes, you
that's the
can.
good thing about it, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, it is. What I was going to say is about preparing yourself. Preparing you for is that that like life. Okay, you go through. You have to experience life in order to write something that is substantial, something tangible, something that something can someone can grow from, or
Mhm.
share your experience. I mean, when you're young, you really don't have much to talk about except for just the propaganda or what's
Yeah,
like what's the news or some of the bullshit at school, or
that's
whatever.
right.
So
Absolutely. I don't think that Robert Smith would nowadays write a song called "Boys Don't Cry." he
Okay,
probably
now,
has got a different.
whew,
Yeah,
I
point.
cry like a little girl, man. Oh, dude, I can.
But I think bottom line for me is that it's never too late to do something. You know,
True.
if you're grown up, I mean, I know a couple of people, of course, in that scene who are like, ah, no, I don't do anything anymore. And our drummer, for example, Alex, he's like, you know what? We know each other now for 30 years. And I never would have thought that we will be in a band together, you know, because we always knew each other from other bands, but that we would be actually in the same band, that was never an idea, you know, and now it certainly happened, you know. And so, yeah, it's never too late to do something, and that brings me also back to earlier when we talked about sometimes you feel like you're in end times and the music is like sad, emotional, you know, it's about endings and stuff. But also there's also a beginning, and you know, and this band name, like the last decade, it's not that if you like watching the news the last couple of days really made me think, okay, we must live in the last decade. Okay. But then again, like all the experiences and the stories and the lyrics, they are probably from the last, they are collected from the last decade, like looking back at our lives, you know.
Yes.
Uh, so it is never. It's yeah. I mean, the whole thing. It's interesting. I think what's happening in the world at the moment. Hopefully, I mean, everybody of us hopefully wants peace. It's just
Yes.
like a few people who seem to make who are more interested in making money or business out of this. I can't explain all
It's
that, but hopefully
it's
it's not the end of
frustrating
the
though.
world. Yeah,
It,
it is.
it is
But then again,
frustrating.
it gives us also like ideas again to make music, isn't it?
Yes.
So so we will see. At the moment, yeah, I'm enjoying this the last decade project period. And yeah, and to be honest with you, the tracks we recorded with Nosferatu are too good not to be heard, you know, outside
That's awesome.
of our band. So I hope there will be something coming up also. But who knows? At the moment, you know, we're busy with other things, and I'm busy with this. So
Yeah, yeah. You seem like you got a lot of good stuff going on. Happy for you.
thank you
You
so
know,
much, man.
keep it busy at our young age.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, yeah.
That's right.
We're still
So
young. I mean, like I'm a young vampire. You know, I some
yeah,
people told me I will get like I don't know how old are they, like 250 or something.
yeah, something like that.
So
Okay, I
I'm
was
still
gonna.
a teenager.
It's true. I was gonna ask. Okay, now I don't want to get things personal or anything like that. This is about Nosferatu. Is there other like branches? Like Black Flag has a couple different avenues. They have a band named Flag that has Keith Morris from Circle Jerks and several other members of Black Flag. And then there's another version called Black Flag that only has one guy in it, Glenn Jen,
Mm-hmm.
and he has all three new band members for Black Flag now. Uh, so my whole point is the you used to have Vlad, okay, as the bassist, as you know, it he was the founder basically of Nosferatu. Did he branch off? Because I know that he has Vampirium, you know, he has other projects that he's working on. Good for him for that. It's actually a good project too. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I played it on my show when I used to do mixes. And so, but is there a couple different branches of Nosferatu out there playing?
Well, yeah, there was this like tribute band. I mean, they're around
Does
at the
that piss you
moment.
off? There being a tribute band and you guys aren't even dead. Yeah. It would make
I
me mad
mean,
as a
I mean,
music
you know,
person.
I'm actually happy
Ugh.
that I'm not involved in that too deep. Um, they tried to stop us playing, and they tried to, you know, stop things. And I mean, I'm really not involved. For me, it's like, not that I'm a big football fan, but you know, yeah, like if you play in a football team now,
Yeah.
and and all of a sudden, you know, ex players come along and say, hey, now we are that team, you know, we are, or in other words, like, if talking, yeah, bringing back that band Pink Floyd again. I mean, Roger Waters, he left Pink Floyd, and everybody else continued. What would those guys think if 20 years later he comes back saying, I'm Pink Floyd, and you're like, no, you're not, because we are Pink Floyd. And then he's
Exactly.
like, okay, then I'm the Pink Floyd, and you're like, why? I mean, if you look at all the albums and then everything, there is this Damien Vlad thing going on, you know, like, I mean, I got asked if if I'm available to sing a Nosferatu, so I'm like, okay, I sing a Nosferatu. I don't know what actually is going on with all those other people, you know, if they, I don't know.
You don't know
I
much
mean,
about their situations.
yeah, it's like, I mean, there is
You're just there.
only,
You're there to do your part, and
that's it, you know,
and to
that
represent the best you can for that
that's
project,
it.
and make the best out of it. Right?
Exactly, because yeah, I mean, I'm trying, or yeah, of course, I enjoy it also to entertain the people with the music. And I know, of
You
course,
grew
like,
up. You probably grew up listening to that band yourself.
yeah, exactly. And of course, like, what everybody did in the past to create those songs. I mean, yeah, I mean, I've got nothing against anybody,
The vision,
because
the imagination, the vision behind
exactly.
it.
But if you,
It's
I mean,
very awesome.
if you play in a football team, for example, now, um, you do the best for that team at the moment. And if somebody comes around the corner who was in that team 20 years ago saying, no, I'm in that team, you're like, okay, I don't get it, to be honest. You left the team, you know, 20 years ago, and I, yeah, it's difficult for the people, also, I think, to get what's going on, you know. I can't
Yeah,
help it. I can't help it. I can only say that with the other project I'm in, no one else will start doing a similar thing.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's now. I'm not saying that when it that it is too similar to Nosferatu. I'm just saying that the it's actually its own entity. It doesn't
Hmm.
sound like Nosferatu. It
Yeah, yeah.
it's it has a more of a harder drive, more it's the guitar. I'm telling you, the guitarist, amazing. The riffs that dude does, man. I just want to give him a hug. At least for 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes of quiet time. Giving him a hug. I'll be fine.
Well, you either come
Hopefully,
over
some
to
of his
see us.
guitar will rub on me.
Yeah. Well, we hopefully
Like
when you
drain
come over.
you like a draining vampire.
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
Drain
yeah,
your
yeah.
energy vampire. Remember that show? What we do in the shadows?
Yeah, exactly.
I love that show.
I love it too.
He's
No,
like
I mean,
he's our family's favorite vampire is the energy vampire. Oh, he's so awesome.
so what's your favorite? I mean, there was just one thing I wanted to say about your hug is like, hopefully we'll come over to play in the US as well. I mean, the I've seen that the Cemetery Girls and Awakening, they play the Glumfest or whatever it's
Yes,
called.
I'm friends with Cemetery Girls. Yes.
Yeah. And so that's something. But yeah, so what's your favorite vampire movie then?
Oh my lord, vampire movie. Okay, honestly, I'm a big fan of the regular Bram Stoker, old school fan. But Bela Lugosi is actually my favorite still. I actually partied with Bela Lugosi's grandson
You
in
did, but
California, yeah. And
some band told me,
he had a
go
baby
on.
vampire, a vampire with diaper on his arm,
Oh my
tattooed
God,
on his
really?
arm. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Well,
Yeah,
the
we
only
drank a
thing
bunch of absolute vodka that night. Boy, a lot of it.
I
Ooh.
I heard Bela Lugosi is dead. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, supposedly, yes.
Okay.
I haven't, I haven't seen proof. I
No,
haven't
I
seen
actually
proof.
went. I went to. I was in like that cemetery in. Is it L.A. in? It's close to Culver City, I think. The
Okay.
cemetery. Yeah, I've been there. So I went to see his grave. And but I'm this. I mean, for me, it's also like Bela Lugosi is this like this guy I see as, yeah. I mean, of course, I think out of all movies, I mean, I love also. Well, it's difficult, but yeah, I think Bram Stoker Dracula. I think Gary Oldman. He is.
Okay. Yes, Gary Oldman. That he does a good job. I know which one you're talking about.
Maybe it's also because of
Yeah, I know
it,
that character. Yeah.
and also those different scenes. Like there's so many scenes where he's so good in, while the other actors, they just were this like figure. Um, so yeah, I mean, no, but Bela Lugosi, he was the
he,
one.
he was the one. Yeah, definitely. I have a song that it starts off with him talking. It's pretty cool. The intro of it. It's. I'll try. Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. Anyway,
Regarding your music, just
oh.
had the idea that I should invite you to my show and talk about your music.
Oh my goodness, you have a show? You didn't tell me you have a
No,
show.
not yet. I just decided to do one.
Ah, I'll love to be a guest. Love to.
You're
But wait
invited.
till at least I have a few more tracks.
Yeah.
As
No, I
soon as
mean
I have my EP ready, I'll let you up.
I wanna check it out. I really wanna listen to that. I wanna hear all the influences, like from punk, goth, post punk. Oh, by the
Yeah.
way, when you mentioned earlier, like Black Flag and all that, the punk stuff, let's not forget the Lords of the New Church. I really love them.
Yes, very good stuff. Yes,
Mhm.
very good band. Yes, so that's some of your major influences. What are some of the bands, if you'd say, that have influenced
Yeah,
your music the best to create the last decade?
I think there are a couple musicians, but yeah, it is the post punk, it is the goth world, it
Obviously, The
is
Damned is one of them.
yeah. There's one song we do called Dragons. Somebody told me the other day it sounds like Simon Le Bon singing in Sisters of Mercy, and I'm like, okay.
Oh
So,
wow,
well, I grew up in the 80s,
yeah,
so
I
there's
love
also
Duran
some,
Duran.
yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
love Sisters, so them sisters would be awesome.
Well,
That'd be cool.
you check out, it's on YouTube, Dragons. Somebody told me the other day, like a DJ from London, who said, well, this is like, I can hear like Duran Duran in this, but it's still like, like dark wave or something. And I'm like, okay,
That's
thank you.
good. That
It's
is,
not,
it
it's
is
nothing bad
actually
about
more
it.
of a dark wave. It is more of a dark wave, is the way I look at it, to be honest with you, because it has that almost that danceability, that emotion driven drums, you know what I mean? That drive and with the bass line, so that makes you want to dance. I mean, if you're standing in
Well,
place
that's
and you're
that.
listening to your music, you're dead. I'm telling you, because it has an energy that just makes you want to dance.
I'm very happy to hear that, and thank you for that because I really think that this music it's made to move. It's made to gather with other people. I also think that, well, talking about the goth scene, I see it also as a community, the goth scene. I know there is fashion. I know there's always the talk about some people are attracted to the dark. Some people, they're wearing this like cyberpunk outfits, like, so you've got those more romantic people, you've got the Victorian people. I don't know if you have ever heard of the festivals over here, like in Europe and like, yeah, in England and Germany, there's a lot going on with all those like festivals. And I think what I like about music that it brings people together. It doesn't divide people into two camps. It does bring people
Yes.
together, and no matter of religion, nationalities, or whatever. And if you've got music that can make people dance, it's like, like bring people together on a dance floor. It's like,
Exactly.
I mean, for me, like it makes me happy to
Kind of like,
see that. And
remember that reminds me of that Men Without Hats. You could dance if you want to, you can leave your, how everybody's so happy in it, dancing in circles together, holding hands and just enjoying it. I
but
mean, that's what
but I
I
have
look
to
at it,
ask,
that a
mentioning,
dance floor should be like, just losing yourself in
but
the music and all that.
yeah,
That's awesome. Good for you. That's what it should be about.
absolutely. But the thing is, exactly. But the thing is, the question that's still there is like, what does make a dance actually safe? What is a safety dance? Because I never heard myself dancing, but that's why I think
I did.
I rarely dance.
I did. I lost this tooth.
You
I
did?
lost my front tooth. I lost it. I broke it right in half on a dance floor. I stage dived, landed
Oh
on my
my
best
God.
one of my friend's shoulder. I was in the Marine Corps at the time, and bit a hole in his shoulder like about the size of a silver dollar,
Oh my
and
God.
chunked out, and my tooth went bink and flew out in the dance floor. And some guy
You're
came
joking.
over and picked it up and said, "Here's your tooth."
What?
And my little roots were hanging out like that, dangling. Oh, it hurt too. Every time I touched
The
something with
fun,
it to the oh
well, this is, oh my God. You know what happened to me? Like when I was 18, I had like those, I had two teeth like stuck out a bit. And I also made like this when I was younger, when I
yeah
was
yeah
like
yeah
10, 12, 14. And I also had a blackout once and I fell and I lost three or four teeth on the side. And like, so also some of these, I had the similar thing, like, hey, there's a bit of your tooth. It's weird. So
wow
we both have to be careful what we do. And
we
for
do.
you, the safety dance is a
That's
very
right. I super
important.
super glued it back on. Yeah, I'm good now.
Well, you really need that song. I think I
I
don't
think next
know.
time I
There
go
were
to
only
a
a couple of
dance
songs
floor,
I
I'm gonna
danced to, and
wear a mouth guard and freaking a helmet, some football gear, or something, flak jacket, you know. Anyways, that's funny, man.
wow.
So okay, so now all seriousness. So has it been see, okay, you said that this has been a project since you were like 14, or whatever, long time ago this started. So the dream started then. Now it's a reality. First of all, how does that make you feel? And then second part, do you feel that you're exactly where you need to be to create this project?
Hmm.
Sorry, that was kind of deep.
Ooh. Yeah.
So
Um,
deep I stepped in it.
I'm going back to what you said earlier about was it all everything that happened in between, was that all like
Yeah,
necessary or important?
yeah,
I really think it was, because like there are a few songs I made when I was like in my 20s, and and part of that war song with it was also included. And there was a war somewhere, I don't remember which one it
yeah,
was. And now the lyrics, I changed a little bit of them, but I tried to keep that moment when I saw something on TV, perhaps it was
yeah.
going on about a war. And, it made me feel like, why is the human race still so stupid, fighting against each other,
It is. It's
and why does
asinine.
it's crazy. And so I
And
added this north, east, southwest in the chorus, and also at the end of the song, it's this like, this song goes on forever. This war goes on. I mean, not the song. And I would never have, now being older, I can actually see what happened in all those years. Well, it's still the
yeah,
same situation. There's still wars. People still did not learn from it. Um,
we're
so
stubborn, man. We're stubborn people.
yeah,
We want it here right now, our way, and it's and
I
we
mean,
want it,
and
yeah, no matter whose toes you step on too.
exactly, yeah, and now, I mean, I'm different. I know more about that nonsense about war, that it doesn't do anything. And last year when we did this, when we released the song as a 7 inch, it was weird because we we got in touch. It's called Metal for Ukraine. They collect money for Ukraine,
Yeah, for the
also to help
children.
those, yeah, for to help. And I all of a sudden, what I can't say that I like the situation, because it's horrible, but at least I was old enough to think, okay, if we make money out of that song, I don't need it. I'm living in a house. I've got a roof above me. I've got a fridge that I open in the morning. It's full. I've got food and all that. I've got peace. So the most important thing is that if that song uh, can create any money, we just give it to the people who really need it. And I would
Yeah,
never, I don't know. I mean, if I would have been 20, I would probably have been super excited about like the music and all that. And now I'm like, okay, it's just a tiny little thing we can do and help people we don't know. But it's like, it's children. They're innocent, you
they're
know.
innocent animals and children.
Exactly.
You can't get more
So
innocent than animals. So people
yeah,
that hurt animals, man, ooh,
yeah,
God,
yeah, exactly. It's tragic, and and this is definitely something I would not have done maybe a couple of years before. When I don't know, when I now I can say I've got the money to live. Of course, everything's getting more expensive. Let's not forget
Woo!
that. And being in a band and going on tour and I mean, it's we have to pay a lot of money to do this. So hopefully there will be a couple of people coming around to see us to make it at least a little bit profitable. But that's one thing. But yeah, so this is where we are at the moment. And your second question, I almost forgot. It was about the
I
future, wasn't it?
I honestly forgot the other question. I got lost in that answer. That
No,
was a
no.
good answer,
It,
but
it, it was it was about the future. I think, like how we deal with the future and all that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, um
what I
I
was
would.
trying to get at is, has this been a challenging project for you? Because I noticed you start, like I said, you started when you're early, young age, with this idea, but
Mhm.
now you're you're a man of mid age, and now the project's finally getting to be done. Same kind of with me. I wrote a lot of these songs like 15, 20 years ago or more.
Yeah,
And
it's
so
like
I, I'm finally gonna get off my ass, to be honest with you, and get my stuff done. So if you put pressure under me, I'll put pressure under you. How about that?
that's a good deal. Let's do that. No,
Hey,
it really.
where's that next song? Where's that next song? Where's that next song?
Where is it? No, it really.
Uh,
You're right, and it really feels like there's the right time because it's of course I've got more knowledge and I think the music is still it still has got something from the 80s 90s, so
yeah,
it's like a combination. It's really like you open your drawer and you find this old cassette and
yep.
you think like, oh, do I have a tape deck, can I play this? And then you listen to it and then you think, wow, why did I never do anything with that? And now with like social media, the internet, when you can share your work way easier with everybody else, it's fun, like that you all of a sudden can introduce your music to people on the other side of the globe.
Very true.
While of course on the other hand you can't really make money out of the whole thing. So
No.
yeah, let's forget the money
But
and
you can
let's just do
probably
it.
help people and change their life for the good.
Yeah, that's
As well
true.
though,
Yeah, that's true.
even with last decade. It's not like you're a church necessarily or something, but you do have experiences, and you may be the one that stops, they listen to your song and it stops them from doing suicide, or this or that, you just never know how
It's
you can impact somebody. So you need to take it seriously. You know what I mean?
we
Because it's
we had
there's
we had that situation actually with one of our songs called Candle, where the whole song goes on about how hard it is, how heavy life is, and all the work. And there's like, where is actually the light at the end of the tunnel? Like, I can't see
yeah,
it, it's all gone, and everything you like, everything you
gone.
love is going. There is this line I made for a very special person that says, I miss your smile and all to laugh along. And both, like when we play that song live, I always cry. It's like it really has an effect on me,
Yep,
and
that's
this
good.
person
That's good.
came up to me and said, "Hey, this is like it's such a sad song, and it feels so close, but at the end, it's just like okay, it's like enough of that. No one will make me disappear.
Yeah,
I'm strong enough to carry on, and this is I think what we all need at the moment because I really think, and if some of those lyrics are quite old, but I really think like, wow, they fit in nowadays because all the media, everything, especially with artificial intelligence, like AI, does what we see is not really what's going on. It's like there's so much fake
Yep.
stuff going on,
There
and
is so much fake stuff.
and we
Yes.
really need to focus on who we are and where we want to go, and it's hard, to look away, but there's so much lies, and it's all in the hands of a couple of people who want to become top leaders and become rich. So we'll
I hear
see.
you, my friend. I gotta say, we're running short on our time, buddy.
Oh, okay. Now
Darn it. Holy
that's
pickles, man.
that's
We have
good
like
then.
3 minutes. But so anybody you would like to thank
Well,
before we close?
I like to thank you, of course, for having me on here. Yeah, that's the most important part. Otherwise, we would not be here. And second, of course, everybody who will listen to this, watch us. I hope we were not too boring. I hope we
No, you're not.
entertained you a little bit.
Heck yeah.
Please check out the last decade because we put some effort on it, and we're looking forward to every new listener out there. And I wish everybody peace and love out there, and still darkness, of
That's
course.
right. Well, much. Thank you so much for
Okay.
all your time, and
Well,
you've been
thank you so
a great
much.
host,
I
great
really
guest.
enjoyed this, and
You're welcome.
Thank
You're
you
always,
so much, man. Let's
and
be
when
in
you
touch,
get
okay?
yes, when you get your album done, let me know. We'll get you back on. You can discuss every track and talk about it. It'll be
Of
your
course.
whole short for
I will
40
update you
minutes.
now all the time.
Okay. All right. Till next time, buddy.
Excellent,
More
man.
rock, less
Enjoy
talk
the rest
here
of
on
your
the Roosta
Sunday.
Show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Far from mother's education, born to drown the burning flame. Children followed by the nation, planned their fortune in the game. Blessed by father's humiliation, pain grew up behind their eyes, splitting into different voices. Their death is heard enough flies, waiting for the final chance. They're growing up, no advance, waiting for the final chance. Hear the children of Fiji religious guns and broken faces reflecting in the ozone sky. Can they stop the violent races aiming for their brother's eyes? Fight goes on into the night. There is no light to realize that all blood and all the tears are grinding in our coming life, waiting for the final chance. They're growing up, no advance, waiting for the final chance. Here are the children of Fiji religious guns and broken faces reflecting in the ozone sky. Can they stop the violent races aiming for their brother's eyes?